Вон там живет тигр. И сейчас мы с вами пойдем посмотрим, как его кормят. Это очень интересное зрелище. Вот такая у них территория с водопадом. А вот там большое толстое стекло, через которое тоже можно на них смотреть. Вот такой дом, в котором живут 2 тигра. И 6 недель назад у них родилось 3 детей. Это такая большая редкость. Вот здесь живут тигры. Сейчас их будет кормить. Сейчас открывают. И будет кормить тигра. Ждем. Как его будут звать, интересно. Интересно, как его будут сейчас звать. 3 часа его будут кормить.
Hey guys, so welcome to our Tiger Crossroads exhibit. So we have actually 2 adult Sumatran tigers here at the zoo. And we also have 3 cubs that are currently behind the scenes with mom.
Пришел.
But this is dad. So
Да,
this is
это
Felix.
папа.
He is a 6-year-old Sumatran tiger.
6
So
лет.
he is about
Феликс.
225 pounds, so he is a full-grown boy.
Ой-ой-ой.
Now, 225 might sound small, he might look small.
Ждет.
That's because Sumatran tigers are the smallest of the 6 species of tigers in the entire world.
Это
And so
считается
the
тигры
biggest
небольшого размера.
comparatively would be somewhere around 600 pounds,
Иди
so a
сюда.
lot bigger than he is. But he is still a very apex predator in the area of the world he is found, which is the island of
Уже
Sumatra.
ждет, уже пришел.
Now, what we're doing right now, Stephanie is one of his primary trainers, so she's going to be doing some training behaviors with him while I'm jabbering on about him. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask at any point. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of people today, so shouldn't get too loud in here. But she's going to be asking him to do some behaviors, and so she'll be rewarding him with meat if he does do the behaviors correctly. That's also why she has that whistle. That's what we call a bridge. So that lets him know that he did the behavior correctly, and reward is on the way. And so, now reward for these guys is going to be in the form of different types of meats. So we have chunk beef, we also have ground meat. And so here at the zoo, he also this morning did get a rabbit. It's a whole prey day today. So that's what the remains there are of rabbit. Now, every single carnivore here at the zoo gets fed frozen thawed. So their meat is already dead. You just thaw it out and feed it to them. And so, but he definitely loves whole prey day for sure. There is also a day of the week that we also give them what's called a bone day, which is virtually a fast day. But they'll get bones about this big rounds, very much like a thigh bone. They'll consume the entire thing. They don't just eat a little bit and chew on it. They will completely consume it and they'll pass it. It's a very efficient digestive system. They can do that because their teeth are about this big. So this is a replica of a tiger canine tooth. And so there's a little bit of the root, but this is exactly what it would look like coming out. Now, they are definitely apex predators, like I mentioned earlier. So in the wild, they'll be hunting things like small pigs. They'll also be eating small deer. In the bigger tiger species that live in bigger places will eat much bigger prey. But since they live only on the island of Sumatra, they'll have smaller prey to deal with.
Это тигр из Суматры. Ой-ой-ой, а это котлеты.
Now, as a male, you will notice he has a little bit longer hair around his neck area. That's what we call a ruff. It's not as long as a mane would be for a lion, but he does have longer fur. His mate, Anne, is our female. She does not have that. Now, I did mention that we do have 3 cubs, so they are currently behind the scenes in the dens with mom. So this building that you can see behind us here is the indoor area for tigers. That's where they go at nighttime. So we had 3 cubs born about 6 weeks ago, and so they are all doing fantastically. And so they are growing up very well. We were very worried at first because it is a full first-time mom, but she's doing very, very well, and we are very gracious and joyful that she's doing so great. Now, the cub birth was actually a big deal. Since Sumatran tigers, every single species of tiger in the world is endangered or critically endangered. Sumatran tigers are what we would consider critically endangered. So the 3 cubs we have born is almost a 1% increase in the global population of tigers. So it's a very big deal. So we're very, very happy about that. But as he goes up, you guys saw, as he grabbed hold the mesh, they do have fully retractable claws. That's what they use to hunt with, along with these canines. So they can hunt down things that are
Он прыгнул.
very large prey.
Он высоко прыгнул.
Are you going to reintroduce it all into the wild, or
So that is, it could be a possibility for the future. What we're doing, so across AZA zoos, we have what's called a species survival plan.
Right.
And so we know the genetics and the lineage of every single tiger individual we have, Sumatra.
Сейчас он может
And so we will breed
как он кушает,
the
смотри,
new
видишь,
tigers
котлеты
between
ест.
zoos to have the most genetically viable population.
Он
So
тоже
that
любит
if habitat is
котлетки.
viable
Ему
in the
котлетки
future,
дают.
programs like that can be revisited. Unfortunately, their habitat continues to be devastated. Deforestation is the biggest issue to
А
these
ты видишь,
guys.
какой он
because
красивый?
agricultural cutting for palm oil is a huge concern. Palm oil is unfortunately in almost everything at the grocery store. But the good thing is there are cool apps that you can download that you can scan your thrift and it'll be like, this is sustainably sourced palm oil, this is not sustainably sourced palm oil, so you can know what's better
пальмовое
to
масло
buy.
им тоже
And that
нельзя.
could actually help keep that
Во всем
population and
содержится
habitat
пальмовое масло.
as viable for a little bit longer.
А оно
And so
вредно для тигров и
that
для
wall there
людей
will tell you a little
тоже.
bit more about that in much more eloquent detail than I can.
А,
But
сейчас он
we're
прыгнет,
just trying
смотри.
to keep the population maintained and around since there used to be 9 species of tigers. Now there are 6.
Ух ты,
So
ух ты, как ты видел? О,
good.
молодец,
Do you have any
хороший.
questions about Felix?
Какой мальчик
If you're just
хороший.
joining
Его
us
зовут
after I introduced him,
Felix.
this is Felix, our
Его звать
Sumatran tiger
Felix.
male. He is about 6 years old and he weighs about 225 pounds.
What about feeding his wife?
She gets fed every day. We do training sessions just like this with her.
Okay.
Since she is still taking care of the cubs right now, we're a little bit more hands off with her.
Gotcha.
But she is trained just like this as well. So we do.
Где-то
He does more
девочки-
training behind the
девочки
scenes
сейчас
as
с
well.
детьми, мамы
But this
с
is just
детьми.
something we do especially for you guys on Tuesday,
Отдельно.
Thursdays, and Sundays.
Отдельно кормят.
This is Dad. Yeah.
so every Tuesday, we have memberships every Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, we can come in.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday,
Вторник,
Sunday
четверг.
are going to be Tiger, and then the opposite days is Bear. There's a
Воскресенье.
training wall at 3 o'clock for Bear as well.
Кормят
Yep.
тигров 3 часа. Вот так. Ставьте лайки, если
Cool thing,
вам
my
понравилось.
favorite
И
things about tigers
подписывайтесь
is
на
they
мой
do
канал.
have, it's called
Много
true
интересного
stripes. And
впереди.
so if you were ever brave enough to shave a tiger, like deer and the pigs that he's hunting in the wild cannot see full color. So that orange is not in their color wheel. So that just blends in with all the other things. And so with that breakup of light and dark, he absolutely disappears in the forest. So.